This is the second episode of Argue for Anarchy. The first one, we were going over how the trivium, quadrivium, we were going over how the natural law expressions relate to mass mind control and slavery. But I'd like to recant because about 1 minute, 49 seconds in, I went ahead and said that the trivium and quadrivium were common knowledge. Yeah, I'd definitely like to recant that. If it was common knowledge, it would have probably been in the hands... Well, if it was held, it would probably be held by, like, pagans and druids, which were, close to nature and also victims of religious wars, had to get killed out for kingship. But that's not common knowledge, because if it was common, then that would mean that there would be no knights to follow the orders of the king, because they would have realized that they were doing evil, genocide. And you can argue that these people knew they were doing wrong, and the whole objective is to keep other people from realizing it. That's called dark occult. It's the oldest religion, and it's fueled and propagates influence through the same energy, entropy. Now, entropy is what we're going to talk about. So entropy is one universal energy force, and syntropy is the other. Syntropy is the tendency of energy to concentrate, increase, differentiate complexity and structures, driving an emergence of structured systems. Things get complicated. Structures emerge. Increased differentiation, so things can be seen as having unique qualities. Energy can concentrate and become powerful, driving the emergence of structured systems. In contrast is entropy. This is the force that is being used. Basically, this is the force being used. Well, this is the force being idolized and mimicked whenever we talk about government and authority. So, I've said before it was Shaitan energy, and that's basically the same thing. This is the energy that these people are worshiping. So, entropy, in contrast to syntropy, represents the tendency towards disorder and disorganization, while entropy governs the flow of energy towards thermal death. Syntropy drives order and complexity. So entropy is driving things into extinction, and syntropy structures freedom. The structure is seen in the natural laws. Entropy is the tendency of energy to dissipate, also known as the law of thermal death. On the contrary, syntropy is the tendency of energy to concentrate, to increase differentiation, complexity, and structures. These are the mysterious properties of life. Entropy and syntropy are two complementary yet contrasting principles that govern the flow and organization of energy and matter within the universe. While entropy represents the tendency towards disorder and disorganization, syntropy embodies the opposing force that drives order, complexity, and the emergence of structured systems. Syntropy, evolution, is a cooperative interaction between at least two microbial species to degrade a single substrate. They're working together to achieve the same cause. It involves the transfer of one or more metabolic intermediates and is considered a form of biological symbiosis. On the macrocosm, these are people working together to achieve the same purpose in a way that achieves order for their ecosystem. We call that freedom. In biology, syntrophism, is cross-feeding, from Greek syn, together, and trophy, nourishment. They're nourishment together. It is the cooperative interaction between at least two microbial species to degrade a single substrate. The type of biological interaction typically involves the transfer of one or more metabolic intermediate. Syntropic farming. This is an example I wanted to show how this syntropical farming is a set of principles that mimic nature. It is based on core principles from syntropic agroforestry and draws from many other natural farming techniques and practices. Syntropic agriculture offers multiple benefits, including greater farm resilience, improving soil health, and enhanced biodiversity. Syntropic gardening, made by man, or developed practices by a Swiss geneticist and farmer, Ernest Gotcht. Syntropy is the tendency of energy to concentrate, increase differentiation, complexity, and structures, opposite to entropy, which is the tendency of energy to dissipate. Remember, these are the mysterious properties of life. Entropy is order. No, syntropy is order, organization, structure, life, mercy, grace, and love. The opposite of randomness, chaos, entropy, death, extinction, classical physics, materialism, naturalism, evolution, and creation. Example, nihilism or atheism. It goes on to say syntropy is not magic. Nature is not magic. Magic is being able to align your will to the benefit of these syntropic forces to achieve freedom. For your own will would be a form of entropy, where you'd be having to hurt someone else in order to have a gain. In the cyclical nature of the universe, there are two opposing principles, entropy and syntropy. To understand syntropy, it is useful to understand its opposing force, entropy. The principle of entropy has effects that are easy to understand and observe. Syntropy is highly sympathic. Syntropy follows the inverse square law as also Coulomb's law. See fusion. This is a scientific reference where they're saying that gluon is presumed to be the smallest unit of syntropy or attractive force. See strong force. And in 1974, Albert Georgi proposed replacing the term negentropy with syntropy. When energy flows abundantly, structures emerge, proteins fold, tissues heal, ideas form. When energy stalls, entropy takes over, and decay sets in. Far from abstract, this principle is woven into the fabric of reality. Energy flows abundantly, structures emerge, proteins fold, tissues heal, ideas form. Energy stalls, entropy takes over, and decay sets in. These are woven into the fabric of reality. I just stumbled upon a eugenics website. It's a good opportunity to define eugenics. So eugenics is the idea and act of determining what characteristics of a species deserve to go on throughout time, or which ones deserve to be eradicated. And eugenics, this is energetics. Okay. I'm on an energetics, not eugenics website. But eugenics is the fourth, you would say, tenet of Satanism, followed by, it's the fourth one. The third one would be, oh man, I know this. I've got a document that I made, or no. Feel free to check out the Shatan Energy video. Anyway.